just 1 year after Shiren's release, we got a very compact version of Shiren gameplay on the Game Boy. Mechanically, the enemies, traps and items all return with extras to spare, but there were subtle fundamental aspects that couldn't be brought over from the console, which led to some inspired solutions. Screen resolution is the easiest observation to make regarding mechanical changes tied to hardware limitations. Rooms are shrunk to fit the display, so the dungeons are small and fun-sized. You can see how these room sizes affected the floor layouts themselves. The room-to-corridor ratio is more evenly spread out despite everything being smaller, and this compactness allows the interactables to be in closer proximity. Smaller rooms means it is also more likely to step on a trap, and larger maps with lots of small rooms encourage exploration over one big room. This usually isn't an issue because these games have a run button that skips downtime, but I still appreciate that the level design itself has no room for meandering. It's also nice that the controls mostly facilitate what you need. They map direction lock to the start button, tapping select opens the map, but holding select and pressing A lets you fire projectiles. It's the same deal with the B button, tapping brings up the menu, holding lets you run. You can even sort menus with starts. The only real missing function is the diagonal movement lock, which isn't as needed since the levels themselves don't really require as heavily. Oh wait, they actually did include that too. If there wasn't something they could port over, there was a unique alternative. The item menu got split into 4 screens. Depending on how good you are at memorizing your inventory, this setup could technically require less inputs. And it would have been nice to see newer games with higher resolutions incorporate a grid-style menu option. Pulling out the map does obscure the screen, but at least the levels are small enough that you don't need it so often. Despite being a turn-based RPG, somehow it has less menuing than Zelda. In that sense, the pacing and core gameplay of the Mystery Dungeon has been kept. This whole game just feels like a weird flex. Its structure is very derivative of Shiren 1, and in hindsight, that console version is just as easy to play portably today. We even got a coloured Shiren GB 2 just a few years later. I didn't talk about the backtracking or the pissing dog, since it's not that substantial. There is one incredible benefit to this game though, and that it is dark mode friendly. This is becoming a bigger deal for my eyes, and it's a great example of how a limitation can be used to a modern benefit. Playing this game at night in a post-game dungeon, listening to its chiptune renditions that changes with each floor like a jukebox. It gives the game some relaxing replayability. You can yank the game out of my device, and the game would have still saved my exact position and progress on the chip. Finally, I'd like to go off topic and talk about convenience. These days we have emulators and devices that can run any of these old games, with all these useful features like autofire. The pattern I learnt from games like Shiren is that convenience is very important to me, and I feel the options in modern games are lacking in comparison to what could be done on the most basic emulator. There's an argument to be made that even simple Game Boy games have more customization and accessibility options, because imagine if the newest RPG had a global speed-up button, so that in 30 years' time, it would age like fine wine. Goodbye.